All right, welcome everyone to the live stream. We have the Lions going against the Seahawks in their wild card matchup. Again, the anticipated weather report shows that there's going to be rain. Game start time is set for 8:15 p.m. So we're going with that. You don't hear the audio in the background because, of course, I don't want to be killed by YouTube for any copyright issues or whatnot. So once we start the game, then we will then you'll hear the audio. So all right, that's better.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Stafford's Lions going up against Wilson Seahawks. What a surprise here. There's rain in Seattle as we're off to CenturyLink Field to link up with our broadcast team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, no trip to the Northwest is really complete without a little rain, and we're going to get plenty of it here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Tonight, we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gauden. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number two, number three, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Set to go now on a wet and rainy night. And off we go from Seattle. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And leading the charge here for the Seahawks as they take the field, Russell Wilson. Easy dismantling of the Rams back in Week 15.
Hold a second. Forget that. I've got to go back to last week. What'd you think of the uniform? The action green, as they called it.
You know, people were killing those uniforms. I didn't think they were awful, but it wasn't their best look, let's say that.
Let me give you a quick piece of trivia on that.
Okay.
The jersey has been worn before by Seattle. They wore it against Chicago, 2009-2010 season, somewhere in that area. I did that game. They actually wore it with blue pants.
Did they win?
Yeah, they won that game.
There they go. They're 2-0.
The action green jersey.
Keep wearing them.
There you go.
Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move them out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss. On second down, Rawls. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side. Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really loved what they got out of him last year because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards of carry in production. And that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. They go play action with Wilson. Surveying the field. All kinds of time. And able to find Graham. Complete.
Yeah, he had a year to throw practically.
First down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
First down, this is Rawls. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. And the starting crew defensively for Detroit.
Glover Quinn entered the league as a cornerback, but has evolved into one of the best free safeties in the NFL.
They stay on the ground. Rawls again. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got time in the pocket. Drops it underneath for Collins. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Detroit Lions and the comeback king, Matthew Stafford, taking the field. Now, it was a struggle in Week 15. Only put up 6 points in a loss to the Giants. But here's what reigns supreme, this stat. 8 fourth-quarter comebacks this year for Stafford, the most by an NFL quarterback since 1925.
And did you see that type of season coming for Detroit?
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah, I think people are going to call this an overachieving season for them, and they feel like there's much more left out there. They're thinking playoffs, and they're thinking damage in the playoffs, mainly because of their quarterback. He's a guy that's in MVP discussion, and rightly so, because of what you said. Say it one more time. 8?
Yeah, fourth-quarter comebacks, most since 1925. Backing up. Oh, he's going to air it out right away.
Oh, what a catch.
25. It's a big play. Stafford to Tate. 61 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath.
Megatron who?
At some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. On 1st down at Stafford. He's got time. Ebron with it over the middle. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 3 yards to go on 2nd down. Now the 2nd-year man from South Dakota State. It's Zach Zenner. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
What's up, Nightbot?
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's
Oh, you saw that long bomb to Golden Tate, man. That was a nice play.
Before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Throwing is Stafford. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on.
Double covered.
2nd down. All right, let's get a peek at these starters here in the Golden Child, Golden Tate.
Love his versatility because you can use him anywhere in your offense. And he's an excellent kick returner. Loves to play the game. Plays with passion.
Second down following the incompletion. They'll run here with Zenner. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. Finding time. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Holding offense. The penalty is declined.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead.
Chip
It's
shot.
a night game, a lot of energy in this building. But the visiting team here, they get the ball in the opening drive, and they find a way to at least produce 3.
And things are just getting started, so you can't say that they've taken the momentum totally, but a good start towards seizing it in this game.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This one
All right, they held the Lions to 3, man.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And here come the Seahawks. They won the NFC West, wrapping it up in Week 15. They've won it 4 out of the last 5 years, Charles. And what New England has been able to do has dwarfed everything else. But that's a pretty good run out west, is it not?
It's a fantastic run because, remember, we were talking about the NFC West being the most competitive division in football for about a 3-year stretch there between them and San Francisco. Remember, the Rams played all of them tough. Arizona got involved in the whole deal. So it's a great run by them. And they don't believe that they're finished, not by any stretch of the imagination. They're looking to get one of the home field advantages in the playoffs.
They start on the ground with Rawls. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Glover Quinn there on the stop.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
Second down following the run. They come up in an offset eye. They go again with Rawls. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. In a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic. This is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
Some good D right there.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. There's Wilson to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Thomas Rawls there.
Wow,
And
if he was looking for Rawls, man, that thing got away from him bad, big time.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Third and long. It's Wilson. He's going to look deep down the field. And he knocks
Oh,
the
man,
ball
almost
away.
picked.
It falls incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. And now it's fourth down.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball, meaning a 50-50? The ball's in the air, defenders there, receivers there. Who's going to make a play on the football?
That was a nice play
in this case,
defensively.
The defensive guys actually got it done and knocked it away.
Here's John Ryan now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. super toe.
On the run, it's Zenner. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
When Bobby Wagner's career is said and done, people are going to look back and say he was an absolute steal in the NFL draft. A Pro Bowl player for any team.
They go again now with Zenner. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
As one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL.
That was a good defensive play.
Doing that.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Doug Baldwin deep here for Seattle. Baldwin now to return. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
Well, the field position is flipped a little bit here.
On the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And taking it across midfield.
Could it be holding?
Inside the 45.
Holding. Offense.
Damn, negates that nice
So
run.
holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
There's a good push to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense.
So a little jumpy there defensively. Ref caught him in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty.
Okay, that was weird because normally the ref always stands that way, and so they like turn the field or something, which isn't reflective of how they call penalties in the NFL. They always steer at the same side of the field. So that, because otherwise you create confusion, like right there.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He'll get 17 yards there. And that'll be good for a Seattle first down.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his third catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Sean Robinson busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Nice defensive play there. Doesn't exactly knock them out of field goal range to tie it up, but definitely makes second down a little bit more difficult. Maybe if they can cover Jimmy Graham, then it seems like they'd be all right.
On second down, Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. From the gun on third down, Wilson surveying the field. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it fourth down.
All right, they could tie the game up here.
A little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. So Wilson will head to the sideline, and on comes Stephen Hauschka for the field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that would tie us at 3-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
Well, Seattle's defense forced the field position, so that helped them get that 3. Oh, nice return. That was nice.
On the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use the speed to get there in the run game.
Stafford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a
easy
gain
pitch
of
and catch.
9, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So we played 1 quarter here on a Monday night. 3-3 our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. On the carry, this is Zenner. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
They'll run. This is Zenner. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And now here's a carry heading left. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
How many times do we hear from coaches, get north
That,
and
my
south
friends,
as
is
a
why you
runner,
don't run
especially
east to
in
west.
short yardage situations. I'd say 3rd and 1 counts. That didn't happen there.
Instead, they went backwards.
You run north and south instead of east and west like that guy. You could have had a 1st down pretty easily.
Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. A chance for us to look at the Lions defense again. And as we're going to see right here, they have been laying some pretty electrifying hits in this one.
And these are for real, okay? As you watch, think about putting yourself in that spot, about being the ball carrier or the receiver.
I don't want to.
And then taking that shot, it is something else. It's not like when we were watching that video clip where they showed you how they make sounds for movies. This is for real.
Pitch goes to Rolls. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job, to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
Now Wilson on second down. Drops it underneath for Rawls. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So here we go, a third down after the second down pass completion. On third down, Wilson. He's got time in the pocket. Complete. Richardson has it. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Alone to the right is Jones. To throw on second down is Stafford. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. He's got time. And that is incomplete.
Damn, he stepped over the line.
Going the third pass. Offense. The penalty is declined.
Why would they decline the penalty? Well, that's an AI mistake too, right there. I mean, you get a loss of down anyways, so I mean,
Here's Sam Martin now,
it would have been 4th and
as he's on
15
to punt
instead.
for Detroit. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night.
Oh, nice punt. Wow.
And did they
At the
keep it
1.5.
in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Very tough spot here for the offense to start.
That was a nice punt, man.
They come out here in the I. Wilson to give to Rolls. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That first down run could not have turned out worse for our defense, because when they came out on the field, their number one mission, keep them stacked up close to their goal line, and at worst, create great field position for their offense.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 2nd down, Wilson throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. He's at the 50, the 30, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Paul Richardson, 82 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Well, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after.
Well, with that score, Seattle opens it up.
And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that drive, 4 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown.
That was a 99-yard drive.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Andre Roberts now to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. To the right side to Eric Ebron. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. So completion on second down, that brings up third. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And he connects with Ebron. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. On first down at Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones.
Oh, now they're going for the quick passes.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because
looks like they made some adjustments though a little bit, because before he was holding the ball for a little while.
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And he's going to go down way back at the 42-yard line. Bobby Wagner not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you
that's when you got to throw it away.
The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 3rd and long, it's Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Man, he had to run back like 7 yards just to make that catch. That killed them right there. They got like 3. They only got 3 yards out of that.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. A 10th carry for Thomas Rawls. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson. Finding time. Great protection. He sets to fire deep. And got his man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 2 minutes to play here in the first half.
Man, they have absolutely no protection at all.
Field after this.
Sorry, not protection, but I mean, the Lions' defensive pressure, you know, they have no pressure on Russell Wilson whatsoever. It's like they're just kind of sitting there waiting for him to make a play.
And now a first down following that long gain. On first down, Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Throwing is Wilson. Complete. Richardson has it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
Oh, God, that was just pathetic.
Magic number for a really good game for a receiver. So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
That was pathetic. How do you just split 2 receivers or 2 defensive backs like that? This is sad.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Wilson will throw again. Surveying the field. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Man, I thought that was going to be a pick.
Graham, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
To throw again is Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Alex Collins from 6 yards away. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On first down, Stafford here. Ebron with it over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now whistles
Detroit on the move.
We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout.
At least if you come away with a field goal before the half, that's
so
at least something, right?
First and 10 now. Now a first down throw, Stafford.
What the frick just happened there? That is a little weird. I think that's a little bug. He was like turned around like he was going to pass the other way.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
On second and 10, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Stafford on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get it down.
See, that's when you need to go out of bounds, man.
Here. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And a second field goal here gets them back within 11 now.
All right, Prater, you got it.
So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get
You know
back
you
to
wanted
where
a
they want to
touchdown
be,
there,
and
but
that's in the
a
lead.
6 is good enough. It keeps you in the game.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, a little 360. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you across the country to Orlando. Standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Seahawks are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Lions won't panic either. They know they just need to take it 1 play at a time. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. About halfway through the second, Wilson's on point with the throw, and it leads to a touchdown. That takes the lead up to 7. Lions, here they have it at the 47. Wagner is able to zero in on the QB here. This ends up as a loss of 9. Now waiting seconds of the half. Wilson's completion is made out of the gun. This play goes for a score. That puts them on top by 14. So that's it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We'll go back down to Seattle for the start of the second half.
All right, could be an interesting second half going on here.
Both
Seattle's
teams
game
appear ready for the
to
fight ahead, and
lose.
We resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And the Seahawks defense heads back out there now. They had a pretty solid first half. Not many adjustments, but I guess there's probably always some adjustments that can be made.
Usually
Detroit just needs to stick with the short throws, and then hopefully you get a chance to catch them over the top like they did with Golden Tate in their first possession.
Tweaks or just emphasizing what you've worked on already, and that's what they're planning to do here in the second half.
They won't be looking to reinvent the wheel. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Another pistol look here. Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Michael Bannon, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Yeah, that's not exactly the play that you wanted.
On second down, here's Stafford. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is,
oh, what a
goodness,
catch.
Hold it in one-handed. A big play there for Detroit. 44 yards.
And there's another one of those incredible highlight reel catches. One-handed, deep downfield, another big completion. I know this, partner. As a defender, I don't know how you.
Damn, they didn't even get they didn't even give an instant replay on that. That's messed up, man. That was a nice throw and catch. He was kind of double covered.
Before you go out and have to play against these guys and try and stop them.
Back to throw. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that.
Well, that's a drive killer.
Even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try to get the running game going with Rawls. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
They come out here in the eye. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
In every game, teams are looking for that momentum shift, and that run there, the offense feels like, hey, maybe we can get something going, but defensively, they've slowed them down the entire game. They don't want to turn into more. They're going to try and figure out a way to take it back on this next play.
Man, the Lions really screwed up with that fumble, man. Ugh.
Third and 2, now Wilson. He's got Curse. 15 yards there for number 15. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now it's Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot.
All right, Lions need to stop, man, to make this a game.
Again, Wilson. And this is going to be...
Oh, man, what the heck was that?
He was looking for Alex Collins that time. And it's 4th and 4.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and...
Oh, I wanted to see a replay of that. I don't think the ball was tipped, but, man, that throw was crap.
As he's on to punt for Seattle.
No, it wasn't tipped. I don't know what happened there.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline.
Bad punt.
And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now a first down throw. Stafford looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, these turnovers are a big, big problem, and a huge part of why they're behind on the scoreboard, too. It's now fumble and interception on back-to-back drives, and you just can't expect to do that and be successful in the NFL or any league for that matter.
The Detroit defense, we get set to watch them go. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Second down and 4. In the slot on the right is Graham. Now Wilson on second down. Complete outright to Curse. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
Well, that's not good.
Following the penalty, it's Rawls. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do is, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them.
On second down, here's Wilson. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And incomplete. He
Wow,
didn't
eared
know where
it.
to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. On is Hauschka now for the Seahawk field goal. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Wow, Hauschka made a field goal. Oh my goodness.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And last time, 1 play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time.
Man, the Lions get these big plays and then they just screw it up.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just 1 big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's
Wow.
loose. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Now it's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Oh, I threw it at his dude's back.
Here's John Ryan now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the turnover.
Man, their
last
punter
time,
sucks.
That's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball.
Let me
turning it
rephrase.
over
Their
on
punter
the last
sucks in Madden
possession.
17.
So we're getting
These kicks are
symptomatic.
terrible.
Yeah.
I like that.
That was like a
Analysis
30-yard kick,
symptomatic of
maybe.
the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. A gain of 3, second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose.
Man, these
yards
running
back
plays
to
aren't
the
fooling
29.
anyone. They gotta
It'll be a
start
loss of
passing
1,
a
and
little
they're
bit
gonna
better,
face a
man.
third down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Now a play fake it at Stafford.
Oh my God! Wow.
Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I guarantee you, it's not very good.
The Lions defense now back onto the field. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3 and out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3 and outs, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest,
Well,
turn the ball over to
this
your
game could be
offense.
over.
We'll see what they can do here. See if they can force another
It's pretty
3
damn
and
close.
out.
I mean, it's not over because it's still a 2-score game.
After the interception, here's Wilson.
Oh!
Turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
second down. Wilson. It's caught outright by Graham. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Oh, receiver and quarterback not on the same page there.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
Well, now it's a 3-score game. Not necessarily impossible to overcome, but
now after the made field
kind of
goal,
tough.
Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT. Ebron with it over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Okay, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Second down to the offense, needing 5 yards. On second down, here's Stafford. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Now it's Stafford. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here comes the Lions defensive unit. They try
Detroit's chances are running
and a really
slim
nice job
at
last
this
time.
point.
Offense had great field position. but they were able to hold them just 4 plays, and they had to hit the field goal.
We saw the benefits of practice there from the defense, though, didn't we? Because most teams, when they have that type of field position that they have to start defense on, they treat it almost like what we call sudden change. You know, after a turnover or a big kick return, whatever that is, you tell the guys, listen, you got to bow up. You got to get in there. Make sure you don't give up any more than a field goal.
They bowed up all right. We'll see if they bow up again. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run with Rawls. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. He's at the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Well, I think the game's over now.
64 yards.
I mean, how do you allow a pass like that when you're down by that much?
And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Now Hausch could attack on the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
It's not necessarily an impossible comeback. Remember, Stafford's got a lot of fourth-quarter comebacks in his repertoire, so the most for a long period of time, most since, I don't know, like the early 1900s something or another. So I think they announced at the beginning of the game 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. They're down by 24 points. That's, you know, obviously 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions, but
incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. All right, as we sit here right now, let's look after Week 15 teams that are in. Seahawks clinching NFC West, NFC East Cowboys in, AFC West Raiders, and then, of course, the Patriots out of the AFC East. Who do you like?
I tell you what, it's still hard for me to go against the Patriots, even though we know that Gronk won't play throughout the playoffs. They know how to adjust better than any team in football. But Dallas, I know people want to find a way to knock them out of this deal. I think that youth will be served for Dallas. And what Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott are giving them, I think the rest of the team is feeding off of it.
One team I didn't mention maybe that could make some noise. Who?
I would say Green Bay, because they still have a chance to win the NFC North in a showdown, possibly Detroit, in the final week of the season.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And they'll go on the ground. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one. He's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
So 2nd and 10 here. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And on 2nd and 10 now. From the 50, Stafford. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And now it's 3rd down. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there.
Alone to the right is Jones. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to wind up and air it out. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in
Well,
that groove
I think it's
here
over,
this go-around.
guys. I think the Lions lost here. After
Looks
that,
like the defense
you
in
just needed a
press
first
coverage
down.
here.
To me, that's the focal point. Just get a freaking first down. Good start.
Again, Rawls. He's been busy
Wow.
tonight. Whoosh. And he's brought down.
And you allow that.
13 on the
Really?
pickup there. And it's good enough for a Seattle first.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And tough sledding. You'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Nevin Lawson there on the tackle. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. Here's Wilson. He's got time. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Man, this is pathetic. Pathetic.
He's played a great game and continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader.
See, you can't do that. I think that's illegal what he's doing right there. You're blocking the guy. You can't block the guy who's covering him. That's like a pick play. Come on, Madden AI. What's up with that crap? That's BS right there, guys.
Opportunity. A running play for Rawls. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. 20th carry for Thomas Rawls. Oh, what a move. It'll be a gain of 11, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup.
Lines are falling apart.
And guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. Looks like
they need to make a huge play in order to even have a chance to win this game.
A throw. 3rd and 2. Now Wilson. That's complete right around the 8. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down.
Well, I'm surprised. It looked like he jumped back behind the line.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
They come up in an offset eye. And here we go on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple.
Their defense has been on the field for way too long.
Second and goal. Defense digging in again here. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is Are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Hauschka now for the extra point. And the lead will grow by one more. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
I'm surprised Hauschka's made all these extra points, man. Usually he's kind of iffy on whether or not he makes them.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
This game's well out of reach right now, pretty much. This is just the formality part of it.
Gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys.
They need 4 touchdowns and
Didn't
4
happen.
two-point conversions
Also
to
showed
take the
confidence
lead.
in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Within 9 minutes.
Stafford on 1st down. Room here to run. And he slides to avoid the hit.
God, that
It's a
slide
gain
was
of
terrible.
9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short.
He looked like he tripped on something.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And incomplete. He was looking to get it to Zach Zenner that time. And it's 3rd and short.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And Tate's got it. They get 9 yards there, and they get a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
See, here's another pet peeve with Madden. You're down by 4 touchdowns, and yet you're just lollygagging and letting the time run out. I mean, why does he keep doing that? Look at that weird crap animation that Stafford got twice already in this game where he's like looking backwards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 1st down Lions. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Fresh set of downs here. On first down, it's Stafford. Finding time. Still back there.
Wow, that was not a good throw.
Incomplete.
Come on, man. What are you trying to do here? You're trying to lose this game? I mean, you're going to lose anyways based on this, but you're not giving your team a chance.
And bats it away.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And
What the hell is that? What are you doing? What is that throw?
To T.J. Jones that time. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Stafford's getting like the weirdest animations.
Drive as this is 3rd and 10. Now whistles and a flag down.
Wow.
Looked like one of the Lions
Come on now.
linemen might have moved.
2 people moved on the line. It was a tie for whoever caused that penalty.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Alone to the right is Jones. 3rd and long, it's Stafford. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
There's been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
And getting set to go again. Here's the
Yeah, I'm not
Lions
believing
defense.
this.
They have to recover
The teams
a
are
little
too
bit.
evenly
Last time,
matched
they
for
couldn't stop
this
the
to
run.
be
They really
that
couldn't stop the
one-sided,
pass
I
either.
think.
And it wasn't just physically. It's mentally because the offense appears to be a step ahead of them. No matter what they call, it's working. So they've got to get something figured out. And usually you need a big play to get things turned around.
They gave up the touchdown on that balance attack last drive. Now this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down. One receiver left, 2 to the right. Wilson surveying the field. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the
Yeah, there
big
should be no
yardage that he might out of
high-fivings
a
on that
smaller back.
sideline right now.
This is brought in at the 21. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point. You're not going to turn around a 24-point deficit. Well, sorry, 32-point deficit. Well, I mean 31, obviously, but you need 32 points to win. So, I mean, that's 4 touchdowns. You're not going to turn that around in 3 minutes.
To throw on second down.
Stafford threw 3 picks, and the running back, I think, fumbled twice. So they've had like 5 turnovers at the very least in this game, which explains the score.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
So the offense lining up 1st and 10. Stafford on 1st down. And he gets it to Bolden. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throwing again is Stafford. Caught right side, Tate. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Really? Why even bother?
And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. A good pickup there at 22. And now they're in the hurry-up. On 1st down, it's Stafford. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it'll be 1st down, Detroit. From the red zone now, Stafford. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
All right, boys, here we go. Got 20!
Stafford looks to throw again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Cliff Averill able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. And the offense moving quickly to the line. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Holding. Defense. And penalties decline.
Wow, Richard Sherman gets caught holding.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And the lead is down to 24.
Can they do it? Can the Detroit Lions score 24 points in 17
A good
seconds?
drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions.
Yeah, you could have used a drive like that earlier, much earlier in the game when it actually mattered.
Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line.
Damn, they didn't even onside it to try to like pretend like they were going to try to win. They just gave up.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
Yeah, okay. Like they want to use them and prolong this painful loss? I don't think so.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.
All right, so there's the end of that one. We dig into the stats. So here's the stats right here. So, yardage-wise, they were pretty close. Completion, meh. But here's the difference here, man. Stafford with them 3 picks. That was just terrible. Stafford with the 3 picks. And then Russell Wilson had the 82-yarder pass to Richardson for the touchdown. And then Stafford had actually it was probably like one of the first plays of the game, the long bomb to Golden Tate for like for that 61-yard pass. Then rushing, what's his name? Oh, okay, so Zenner, he fumbled once. For some reason I felt like it was more than one, but yeah, he definitely fumbled once, and he lost that fumble. They lost the ball then too, so that was 4 turnovers by them. Then receiving, you had Paul Richardson, the leader, or actually, well, for yards after the catch, but still, I mean, 126 yards in total by Paul Richardson, the leading Seahawks receiver of the game. Baldwin with the 2 touchdowns. And then defensive, Detroit, well, they had 2.5 sacks, and then Seattle had about, well, definitely several, well, at least 3 or 4 in total, because you have half, yeah, 1, 2, yeah, about 3 sacks.